I will stand by this till the day I die, but humans do not need to know everything that is going on. Humans are not made to consume so much. So good. So I don't really know what I'm gonna say in this video. I don't have anything planned. I just kind of felt compelled to talk about my experience over the last month and share that. I don't know why. I just feel like it is something that I need to share. Whether that helps anyone else or it's just a good way for me to get it out of my body, I don't know. I need to put it somewhere, so here we are. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I gave up social media about a month ago, and my gosh, do I need to talk about it. The difference I'm feeling already, just a month in, is crazy. Oh, it's just too good. It's just too good. Before I talk about the changes I've noticed in the last month, I want to kind of give you guys my background with social media. I am 27 years old, so I definitely grew up a great portion of my life without social media. When I was in primary school, social media didn't really exist. Sorry, I put my daughter to sleep, so I'm just checking on her. As I was saying, when I grew up, for pretty much my whole primary years, social media was not a thing. It didn't exist. You woke up, you went to school, you saw your friends, you went home, you saw them again the next day. It wasn't like you were seeing what everyone was doing on social media. If anyone is the same age as me or around that age, you're going to remember the days where you basically just came home from school and you would use your landline and you would ring your friend's home phone number. Their parents would answer and you would have to ask to speak to your friend on the phone, and you would both stand at the landline and talk like against the wall for ages until they had the wireless ones, and then it got a little bit easier and you could walk around. But like, I remember that time, and honestly, I had been thinking a whole lot about that time in my life and how simple it was, and how, you know, not only was I a kid, obviously times are a bit more simple when you're a kid, but I think it was just like the lack of always knowing what's going on elsewhere. Like, you were just so present in your own home, your own life, your own mind. Like, you had the ability to make decisions yourself because you weren't being told what to think, and it was just such a simple time, and I've just been craving that in my life. And like, I just haven't been able to put my finger on, you know, what's been causing this like inner turmoil that I've been feeling, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But I just sort of want to touch on the fact that I basically grew up with no social media. I got Facebook when I think I was 13, 12, maybe 12 or 13. I was in like my first year of high school. And it was basically just like a small feed. All you would see is like what your friends put up. Like, there was not many ads. There was not many like reels or videos or news or anything like that. It was like barely anything. It was pretty much just to connect with your family and friends. You'd literally scroll and it would be like, okay, you're all caught up, and it would be like nothing else, and you'd get off. Like, it was something you would check for like, I don't know, 5 minutes and then get off, like on your computer. Like, it wasn't like on your phone really. I think maybe you could get it on your phone, I don't know, but I didn't use it on my phone. I got my first phone when I was in primary school, I think, but it was just one of those generic like flip phone things, and all I did on it was play the snake game and call my mum. And then as I got a bit older, like, I had a few of my friends' numbers and I would text my friends, and that's basically it. I didn't get Instagram until a few years later in high school, and even Instagram back then was just nothing compared to what it is now. It really was focused on photos, videos I don't think were even a thing on there. They didn't have stories. It was nothing like what it is now. It was so basic, and the same sort of thing. You would get on there, you'd scroll through it, and then you would literally hit a point where it would say, you're all caught up, you have no new posts to see, and you would log off. Like, it was so almost boring, I guess, but in a good way. So yeah, that's basically my history with social media. Let me know how old you are and what your experience has been like growing up with social media, because I feel like there's so many different varying experiences because of the way the technology sort of boomed, and like at what point you were born really sort of impacts your experiences. But I think for me, because I knew what it was like to live life before social media, I really think it made me reflect and know what I was missing. Like, I knew what I was missing. I knew that this wasn't adding value to my life. It was only bringing me down. And I guess getting into more of like why I gave it up. For me, I'm a very highly sensitive person. I take on board everything everyone says to me, everyone's emotions, things like, if there's like a really horrific news event or something, like I feel sick to my stomach. It affects me for so long, and I really struggle. And I think when I was a kid it was okay, because like wasn't hearing this stuff all the time. Like, it was like, you know, maybe one big event every now and then that you would hear about on the news or through family or friends or whatever. It wasn't like you were constantly hearing negative news. And I know a lot of people don't watch the news for that reason, but in all honesty, social media is just as bad. I noticed every single time I got on social media, and I think it's particularly my algorithm being a mum, I would get targeted with like news stories about things that had happened to kids, and mainly that I think was really getting to me. Like, I was like logging in and seeing that every day, and there was always something. But basically, just to sort of cut to the chase with it a little bit, is just that I feel like we as humans are not meant to absorb this much information. I was getting to the point where it felt like my brain was so full. Like, it just felt like I was just, I don't know, it felt like my brain just could not take any more information in, and I was almost like lashing out and getting angry and frustrated because I felt so overwhelmed, and it felt like my brain was just like so full of information, and I was absorbing so much information from scrolling, watching videos, reading news stories, like all the time. Like, you can't tell me that we are supposed to know what is happening on the other side of the world. Like, you know, it might sound ignorant to like not want to know about things that are happening in other places. Like, obviously I do, but not to the extent of like what social media is making it happen. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because obviously you want to be informed about stuff and you want to help if you can, but really, what can I do to help in majority of these situations? There are so many situations that I'm like, I can't help. I can't do anything. I feel helpless and I feel terrible, and it just makes me feel worse. Like, you think back to a time before media, any sort of media, like we only knew really what was going on in our local communities, maybe our country, if, you know, that was communicated to us from people higher up in the community. But like, we're only really supposed to know what's going on in our direct circle, in our direct community, our local areas. Like, it's just crazy the amount of stuff that we know and the things that we are consuming every day. And not even just like important stuff, right? Like, I wouldn't even care if I was absorbing the important world news, right? That's sort of okay. But not only am I absorbing world news, I'm absorbing like brain rot online, literal brain rot, like stuff that is like, yeah, it's funny, it's cool, I enjoy it, gives me a bit of a laugh, but is it adding any value to my life other than that like tiny little chuckle I had? Like, not really. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's good to have a laugh, but I can't absorb this much stuff. It's too much for my sensitive brain to handle, and I'm just like being honest about that. Like, I genuinely can't handle this much info. it feels like my brain's full, genuinely full. I was experiencing so much brain fog, and just like, I just noticed myself like doom scrolling, like literally just sitting on my phone like this. Like, that's not normal, sorry, but like, I don't know how else to put it. I genuinely just feel like they have us on a hook, these social media platforms. You know, it's funny, back in the day when I was growing up, I remember there was a lot of talk about like magazines and how, and like billboards and things like that, and how much of a negative impact they were having on women's self-esteem and young girls' self-esteem as they were growing up, body image issues, like, and how it was affecting women's mental health back then, and men's mental health as well, and just giving us these unrealistic body standards. And I just think about, not even just in regards to like body standards, but just everything that we're seeing online now. It's like, oh, you know, it's not even just like, oh, I should have her body or whatever. Oh, she's on holidays in the Bahamas. Like, why aren't I on holidays somewhere? Or, oh, they just bought my dream home. Why am I not buying my dream home? I don't have my dream home. Like, am I really far behind? Or, oh my God, that person just got engaged. Like, you know, I know friends of mine who have like struggled with that, like seeing everyone else getting engaged around them and then feeling really bad about where they're at, or seeing people having children. And like, obviously it's different, like, you know, when it's just like your close circle of people, I feel like it's not as confronting. Like, it's obviously still hard, but it's not as confronting when you're just having it thrown in your face all the time. And I've got to say, like, for me personally, I'm married and I have a child, so I don't feel like lack in those areas. But like, sometimes I feel lack in my, you know, in the fact that we don't own our own home, or, you know, we can't really afford to go on holidays because we're a one income household, because I'm a stay-at-home mum. I want to be with my baby. That's just what I want. My husband works really hard, like, but we just don't have the money to go on holidays. That's just not where we're at. And it makes me feel terrible. It makes me go, well, what have I done wrong? Like, I made all these mistakes. I didn't earn enough. And it just sucks, like, because everyone has a different life, and I feel like not everyone has everything. And even if they do seemingly have everything, I think there's a lot you don't see behind the scenes of what's going on. And I just wish we could all kind of just stay in our own lane a little bit and just live our own lives and just go about it at the timeline that is meant for us, and stop stressing about comparing our lives to each other, if you know what I mean. It's just a lot. So yeah, that's basically why I gave up social media. I just noticed I was feeling so brain fog. I was feeling like my brain was literally full and so overwhelmed. It was impacting like all my other emotions, like, because it felt like I had no space in here to deal with anything. Like, there was just so much happening that I had no extra space to deal with actual real life problems. I think also just like not wanting to be on social media around my daughter. Like, I don't want her growing up with social media. Like, I want to keep her away from it for as long as I can. And obviously that's like gonna be an interesting battle in itself. Like, you know, I don't want to be that mum that's going to be like, oh, no way, you can't have it at all. You know, like, it'll be something we discuss and talk about, obviously, but I would like to keep her off social media for as long as I possibly can. We have a new law coming in here in Australia where they are banning social media for kids under 16, and I'm so grateful for our government for doing that. I think everywhere needs to do that, because that's the hard part with like children, I think, is it's easy for you to say like, I'm going to keep my child off it, right? It's my choice, my child's not going on it. But when all their friends are on it and they're just feeling like this left out, you know, person, you know, not only are you the bad guy as the parent for enforcing those rules. It's raining outside, it's very loud. It just sucks for that kid to be the only one that doesn't have that thing. Like, if you remember what it's like to be in school, it's so hard and you do want to fit in, you know, and you just sort of want to be doing the same things your friends are doing, even if it sounds silly, but like you've got to think of what it's like when you're a teenager or you're a child and you just want to be part of the group. And I understand that. But because we've got this law coming in, hopefully that's going to mean that everyone sort of keeps their kids offline. It's going to be harder for that to be like the norm. And hopefully the norm is just not having children on social media. So yeah, I think that's a really great thing the Australian government is doing. So grateful for that. But yeah, I think like just, you know, if I want my daughter to go through life and see that there is more to life than social media, then I think I have to model that myself. And also like it just distracts me from living in the present moment and like being present with her. And I do feel like I really have tried pretty much since she was born to like not be on my phone very much around her. But I've noticed in the last probably 6 months, it's really been creeping back in. Like I was really good probably the first year and a half of her life, I reckon. And then, yeah, it slowly just crept back in and I'm just starting to be like not as strict with it. And I'm noticing huge issues. Just I'm so angry all the time, I'm so upset all the time. I can't like pinpoint what it is, but it's because I'm being exposed to negativity all around the world instead of just dealing with my own issues and the, you know, issues of the close family and friends around me. It's just, yeah. Anyway, I've been rambling, sorry for the rambling, but this is kind of what this video is. It's just kind of, I've not planned it, it's just a chance for me to sort of just get out what I'm feeling a little bit. But anyways, on some good news, I successfully deleted social media. I don't have Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. I had Reddit on my phone for a little bit, so once I got rid of the first three, I noticed my Reddit time increased. I didn't think Reddit was an issue, but then because I didn't have the other three, I was sort of substituting it with Reddit, and I was on Reddit for way too long, and also ChatGPT and Safari. So I'm like, wow, you're just sort of replacing it with something else. And so like, obviously they're not as bad. I think like Reddit can be a little bit, but you know, ChatGPT and Safari aren't too bad, but that, you know, they're not social media. But I do want to just get my screen time down in general. So basically I deleted the first three, and then I eventually deleted the Reddit app. I don't have my Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter account, like they're deactivated, and my Reddit account is still there, but I've just if I want to go on it, because I like it as a mum, I like to go on there for advice for things. Like I don't post, but I like to see, you know, look at other people's posts and see if anyone's experiencing the same things that I'm experiencing, or anyone has any good tips or whatever. I do find Reddit helpful in that way. So yeah, I do have my Reddit account, but I have to go on my iPad or my laptop to access it. And then with ChatGPT and Safari, I've put time blockers on, so I can only spend like half an hour on those on my phone. And I do have like a thing where if it's like urgent, I can unlock it for something, like if I need to search something or whatever. But yeah, it's got like a 30-minute blocker on there to stop me from spending just too much time on there. So that's the state of my app situation. And I just want to talk about the differences that I've noticed in the last month. I've done quite a few social media like kind of blocks in the past. I think this time I was so fed up with it, I actually found it easier than in the past. I think it took me a bit to sort of be like, okay, this is happening. Like, are you doing this for real, for good? And I just said, yep, okay. And I did it. So next, I guess I'll just talk about like what I did to actually like delete the apps and like stay off them. Because I have no want to go back on them. Like, I genuinely think I could stay off them forever if I wanted to. So it's very likely that that's going to be the case, because I really don't want to go back on them. It's honestly so much better without them. I actually feel like I'm living real life. The first thing I did before I deleted like Facebook was I went through the birthday section on Facebook, and I wrote down all the birthdays in the notes app on my phone, and I have basically put them all in my planner. So basically everyone who's like important, really important, like my family and friends, people that I would message on their birthday. I have written them down in my planner so that I don't forget birthdays. So that's kind of how I got around that. I've also downloaded Eventbrite to look at events, local events in the area, because that's another thing I used Facebook a lot for. Like, there's a lot of really good things about Facebook, to be honest, in regards to those little types of things. The biggest one I'm struggling with, to be honest, is Marketplace. I love Marketplace and I love looking for good finds on Marketplace, but it's actually been really good because I've kind of like stopped buying stuff, which is good. And I guess like if I need to look for things on Marketplace, I think I'm just going to use my husband's account. He doesn't really use his Facebook, so I'm kind of like, well, if I need to look for something specific on Marketplace at any point in time, I guess I can just use his account to do that. But that's probably my biggest struggle, is that. Instagram, literally could not give a rat's A about it. I literally hate that app. Like, it chewed up so much of my time and it made me so self-conscious. It made me so like just wanting to compare my life to everyone else's all the time. It was just, honestly, I just hated it. TikTok I didn't really use that much anyway. I mainly used it for like kind of like DIY things, but then like I would go on there to look up a specific thing and then I would get caught in the loop and it's like, oh, this is so bad. Like, and I noticed myself getting more and more caught in the TikTok loop, and I was just like, nah, this has to go. So one thing I did make sure to do as well was just to tell the close people in my life that I was going off it, so that they know, like, if, you know, they try and tag me in something or send me something and it doesn't pop up, like, they don't get worried or they don't think I've blocked them or something stupid. So that's, I think, what I did sort of to prepare for it. When I first gave up social media, I did notice that I had like almost like the jitters. Like, I didn't know how to be still. I didn't know how to be uncomfortable. I didn't know how to just listen to my own thoughts. I think that's another thing too that's just kind of gone off in my brain. Another thing I really dislike about social media is that because of like the comments section and stuff, I feel like you'll see something on there, like a video about a specific topic, and, you know, you'll sort of start to form an opinion, but then you'll go like into the comments and then you'll go, oh, okay, like, you know, maybe I should think this way. And it sort of like tells you how to feel, and like kind of, it barely even gives you a chance to digest anything before you see some sort of comment or like some sort of opinion that could sway you. And I really hated that. I hated feeling like I couldn't think for myself and that like I couldn't make my own opinions based on fact. It was always like seeing everyone else's opinions and then kind of basing my opinions off all of the opinions and picking the best of the opinions or whatever. And I hate that. I don't like that. And I just want to be able to use my brain and think the way I think, and like whether that is in agreement with other people or not, I don't really care. But I just want to be who I am, be authentic to myself, and yeah, just be myself at the end of the day and not follow along with what everyone else is saying because that's the most popular choice or whatever. But anywho, back to what I was saying, I definitely found it hard to sit with my thoughts. I found it hard to, like, I was constantly like getting my phone and kind of just, you know, looking for things to like, my thumbs were just like this. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I just felt weird. And that took probably like, I reckon 2 weeks to get better. Like, it was pretty bad, pretty well ingrained in my brain. It's hard. The first week's difficult. It's just difficult because it's, you know, you're so used to doing it. So it's just a bad habit that you've got to break. But now I don't really like look for things to do on my phone. I just kind of look around me and I look at my surroundings. I feel like I've just really, yeah, I'm really sitting with my thoughts a lot more. I read more because like whenever I go somewhere, I bring my Kindle and I don't scroll on this thing. I get my Kindle out and I read, like in the waiting room at the doctor's or something, I'll read a book. which I've always tried to do, but then I always go on my phone, I get distracted, and then I don't end up reading. I have like a bite on the back of my neck and I don't know what it's from. Anyways, I just can never seem to stay on topic, but this is what happens when you don't plan what you're gonna say. Some of the other things that I've experienced, I think, is just like the level of overwhelmness. That's not really a word. The level of overwhelm I feel in my brain is just so much less. I feel like I'm just breathing easier. I'm not so stressed. I'm not so tense. Like, I felt so tense all the time and just like stressed and like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and this person has this, and like, I'm not comparing myself to other people really at all anymore. I really, like, that's gone. Like, there's no comparison whatsoever, and I just found myself starting to feel so discontent with the basic things in my life. Like, I just was kind of discontent with the fact that we don't own our own home. I was discontent with the fact that we don't go on holidays. I was discontent with the fact that I still have my old VW Golf car that really needs an upgrade, but, you know, not desperately. It's fine, it's a good car. But that's the thing, like, I'm seeing people buying new cars or people buying homes, just feeling discontent with, like, everything. I just felt sad and just like I was a loser, and like I just had made all the wrong choices in life, and it's too late for me. Like, you know, I'm 27, it's too late. It's not too late. I'm literally not even in my 30s yet. Like, and you know, I find myself now kind of going, hang on, look at all these things you've achieved. You've done so much in your 20s. Like, you've literally had a baby, you've gotten married, you moved to a completely new part of the state with your husband, fiance at the time, and like after like I worked my dream job, well, what I thought was my dream job, for quite a while. I achieved so many things, and I think I was just looking at everyone else's highlight reels and kind of just going like, oh, I'm not good enough and I failed, and you know, all these things. I haven't, and I can see that now. I can see things more clearly. I'm like, now that I'm like checked back into real life, I think I really am just feeling so much more at peace. I feel so calm. I wake up and I don't, you know, check social media first thing in the morning. Like, I was literally waking up and checking social media before I'd even had my breakfast, you know? Like, what is that? That's crazy. Crazy! Now I wake up and I read my book, or, you know, I watch something on TV, or I just do puzzles with my daughter, depending if she's awake or not. Like, I just have a normal morning, and I don't think about anyone else before I've even had my cup of tea for the day. Like, I'm just thinking about me and my family. I'm not thinking about what's going on the other side of the world, because I don't need to know that. I do not need to know that. Seriously, I don't need to know it. So it's just, I will stand by this till the day I die, but humans do not need to know everything that is going on. Humans are not made to consume so much. Anyway, I just sort of wanted to get on here and just say that if you are feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on in the world and in your life, and you're logging on and it's just negativity all the time, maybe just take a step back, because it could change your life. Like, I feel free. I feel like I have been released from jail. Like, literally mind jail. I'm out of mind jail, and I feel so bloody good. So bloody good. It just means that I'm able to be a better, more present mother and wife and friend. And, you know, I think a lot of people's excuses for, you know, not being able to get rid of social media is usually something like, well, then I'm going to miss out on, you know, what all my friends are doing. It's like, well, if you don't know what your friends are doing without social media, then you're clearly not very good friends. Like, friends don't need social media to stay connected. Like, you have their mobile number, call them, catch up in person, have meaningful conversations. Don't just see their milestones online. Like, actually spend time together and celebrate those things in person. That's what true friendship is. And all of my true friends, it has not affected my friendships. There's certain friends that have sort of disappeared, and I'm like, okay, we're not that close, you know? Like, if you delete social media and friendships kind of evaporate or dissipate a little bit, maybe those friendships aren't meant to last, because, yeah, you going off social media should not impact your friendships, in my opinion. And obviously that's up to you to keep connection with them too. Like, it's a two-way street. There's one more thing I want to just talk about before I end this, because it's so long. I'm very sorry about that, but thanks for sticking around if you're here to this point. But I think not being on social media, it gives you like an element of mystery. Like, I love that people don't know what's happening in my life. I love that. I don't know why, but I just like that people don't know what's happening. Like, and then when I see them, I get to tell them in person, go, this has happened, that's happened, we did this, or let me show you some photos, or like, I love that. It's so good. It makes my catch-ups and my actual chats with people so much more meaningful and nice, rather than being like, oh yeah, I saw that on Facebook, saw that on Instagram. It's like, well, now I actually get to experience, like, not only me telling people what's been going on in my life, but also them telling me what's been going on in their lives, and I love that. But yeah, I just think it's like, it's this element of mystery. Like, it's kind of cool. I like it. I just don't feel like everyone needs to know my business. Other than what I want to share on here, obviously. I feel like YouTube's kind of like my personal outlet, my personal diary. I love YouTube. It's my favorite online place. Like, YouTube doesn't feel like social media to me, hence why I still have it. I don't have the YouTube app on my phone though. I've only got my YouTube Studio, which is for my channel. I don't have the YouTube app, because I will scroll. Just the same as every other app. But I watch YouTube on my TV mostly, and I don't watch shorts on the TV because it's just weird. Seriously, I can't even explain the difference it's made in my mental health. My mental health is so much better. I feel like I'm free. If I could give you one piece of advice right now in your life, no matter who you are, it is to give up social media, or just go off it for a little bit. Take a break and free yourself from the mind jail, because that's what social media is. It is designed to be so addictive. Like, we all have addictions to it. It's crazy, and no one does anything about it, because I don't think people think it's like a real addiction, but it's bad. It's a bad addiction, and everyone is addicted to it. Nearly everyone is addicted to it. Shouldn't say everyone, because there's people who aren't, but yeah, so many people are addicted to it. It's crazy, and it's just seen as normal, and it's not normal. Absolutely not normal. And yeah, these apps are just designed to keep us hooked in for as long as possible, and it's time to fight back, and it's time to get your life back, because it's worth it, and you only get a short amount of time here on this earth. Like, don't spend it looking at a screen and giving a crap what other people are doing. Who cares? Who cares what other people are doing? What are you doing? Thank you for staring at a screen long enough to get to the end of this video. I know it's been a long rant of me just kind of letting my feelings out about the topic, but yeah, I just felt compelled to do a video, and I had some time tonight after I put my daughter to bed pretty early. So anyways, I will keep you guys updated with how my no social media journey is going. Very happy so far. It's been a month, but I see it continuing, truly, I do. So I think the longer I'm off it, the more I don't want to get back on it, and it's getting easier every single day. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!